bike. You just do it. You don't get on the bike, do the pedals. It's just the neurons are connected.
And with in regards to that, I know for Team Nigma specifically, one of the questions that I asked them was, playing without Kuro, what exactly has changed? And I believe it was mind control. It was like, well, we're kind of lacking that leadership. And we, in certain key moments, we're like not sure what to do. And so I think for Team Nigma, this is a good thing that eventually you have all 5 players that have that painter instinct, that they all know, they can visualize it, and they know what they need to do without anyone really telling them. And I think Secret is at that level with their understanding of their heroes, and then hopefully their drafts as well, as we look at the first 4 picks and bans for these teams. Viking GG snapping up an Io and a Magnus Secret with a Warlock and an Ember Spirit in the first phase. Bans for Viking GG, Doom, Clockwork, Queen of Pain, Underlord, Venomancer, and for Secret, Phoenix, Tiny, Sven, Anti-Mage.
This is like 100% a Darkseer coming, right? Like they're going to ban like Oracle or some crap for Secret. They banned out the 2 carries I would not want to pick Darkseer into, and then also it goes so well with Ember Spirit. This is the kind of stuff where I love to test myself, and people at home, you can do this too, where you're like, okay, I see these 2 bans. I think they're setting up this, and then see what they do. Because if you're right, you're like, hey, great, you know, I knew that already. Or if you're wrong, you're like, oh, maybe, oh, you know, because usually it all makes sense, right? We talked about it in their gameplay, and sometimes when I see their drafts, I'm like, here's some issues they may be having, and they always come up with a creative way to solve it, and I pretty much just take drafts like this from their perspective. I know we've been kind of praising them a lot, but Viking GG, like, they have to think the same way. You know, what exactly is Secret going for? You know, I know that I said Darkseer, but those are also great mag pairings. The Anti-Mage, the Sven, and now the Slark. It's just annoying to deal with these heroes. I wonder what they're going to choose to do, though. Apparently Mag was in every game this morning.
He's very
potent in the
right
SEA in the SEA region. He's fallen off a bit in EU, but nonetheless, I still see him a lot in the pub games. And I know I talk about pubs, but I will say the pick rates in pubs are reflected pretty accurately in these games. Like, if I see the hero a lot, I'm seeing it here too. And I've been seeing a lot of carry Wisp. I had the displeasure of playing against Map2 playing it the other day, and that owns. I have never laid against it before, and I'm like, holy crap, there's an ogre wailing on me, and this Wisp, I'm taking balls to the face, and not the way I would envision that on a Sunday night. So
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
You do feel him, Jenkins.
Your dad's not in Ukraine, so... But,
yes!
So, this... I really like this Warlock as an answer to Magnus. Just a lot of teams are picking this against these, like, teamfight Wombo combo. Things like Faceless Void, if Enigma was an actual hero. But Magnus, of course. That's also great against the IO. Like, the IO relocates in, all of a sudden... Well, if the IO's relocating, it's because somebody's setting up, right? So that's 1 person, 2 people coming in with the IO. That's 3 people. That's a big Warlock ult right there. You just turn around the fight or disengage or whatever with the rock. So I think it makes a lot of sense. The Wind Ranger, this is where it just gets Team Secret like. I don't know.
It's probably Yapsor, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Right? I did say IO carry, but I would definitely say because you have a mag, it's most likely just all in on this one guy. It's going to be an IO support, buffing up the one guy along with the Empower. And Wind Ranger's actually pretty nice against those type of lineups. It's going to be some hard right clicker. So Wind Ranger as a support, quite survivable against all those. You have a Shackle Shot to potentially get the 2 targets together. I wouldn't say that's necessarily reliable, but...
That's true. It's not bad.
It's nice in lane, though, because usually the IO in lane likes to run the support down. The support usually has to be very scared of the duo, and Wind Ranger doesn't have to worry about that and can kind of just hit the IO from a safe distance. And
oh my god.
Weren't you the one saying this is like the worst hero in Dota, worse than Pudge?
I legitimately think Omni is the worst hero in Dota, but
really?
I mean, it's Team Secret.
Status resistance.
I guess I have to eat my words. I don't know.
Puppy would like to have a word with you after he's done with his monitor, sir.
Yeah, he
Okay,
would.
so tell me about Omni Knight. Why do you not like him? Is he too slow? Does he not have any stuns? What is his shortcomings? Because he's very popular sometimes and then completely ignored other times.
I feel like Omni Knight is just in a place where his abilities are old. A lot of these other heroes, they've been given these, you know, crazy things, slows attached to this. All of a sudden, Void's Bash now applies another auto attack, and it can trigger the bash again.
Sure.
You've all these crazy new Dota mechanics that are being added to
Oh
heroes.
yes, because status resistance has been around since the dawn of time.
Let me just say, I love the God's argument. He always said this: status resistance, 50% status resistance is just Magic Immunity is 100% status resistance. Right, technically speaking, I'm not. This isn't my argument.
Okay, I'm with you.
But I like the idea behind that. Like, I think the initial change to this spell was a downgrade. I like that they added the strength to it. I think Valve realized, all the community realized that it just wasn't good, so it had to be buffed, and it did. But man, after that, like, Omni spells just got nerfed. Like, the heal cooldown's really long.
Yeah. The range got nerfed also, I think.
The range got nerfed on his slow. Now it's just a slow, not an attack speed slow, so it's worse for trading in the lane. So if you're a Faceless Void and you're sitting there against an Omni Knight and you're trying to bash him, like, you're not slowed by him. You just hit him at full attack speed now. So it's
I actually totally forgot they did that.
Yeah.
Did they remove
the attack speed slow part?
His ult is such a long, insanely long cooldown.
What is it,
Also
160?
Yeah, I think something like that. It's very long.
So
Like,
to make him good, Brian, does it have to be paired with a strength core? Or
No, it's just some hero that, like, the 50% status resistance and heal sustain makes them play like they could never play otherwise.
some troll,
like,
something like that.
Even though he is a strength core, Alk's a great example, right? Like, he just becomes literally unkillable, and he can go for some more aggressive items and play in a way that's absolutely madman-like, where he's just up in your face and you say, "I dare you to go through me." Troll's another great one that you already mentioned they banned as well. I would say the only issue Viking GG can be looking at here is damage issues. Warlock heal, as well as just the AoE punishment that if you take longer than a few seconds to kill them, you're dying. And then Omni Knight is probably the strongest, like, damage resistance hero in all of Dota when you combine all of his spells and the Guardian Angel.
it's true. The problem is the cooldown on the spells. That's the issue. It's like when they're up, he's a great hero. It's just
Guardian Angel's the only long cooldown, and
the status resist has like a it doesn't last that long is the problem. Like,
yeah, it does. It's like 10. It's like, isn't it almost 100% uptime?
It's like a 2-second downtime.
Yeah, I
on
was gonna
max
say
level.
it's almost 100% uptime.
But I'm saying in the early levels, like, if you're talking about this hero when he's got maxed out in all of his abilities, it's like, okay, well, good luck getting to that point.
Okay, so they go for the Necrophos, who so far is really nice against all these heroes. Omni Knight
Discourages
is
the
kind of
strength
annoying
core
to deal
also.
with, but it used to be way worse because the Repel was way better than Heavenly Grace against the Necro, because you could always save the guy getting reapered. But
Omni likes to take these long fights, though, and he also builds into these, like, Omni's always really tanky and just such a pain to kill, and Necro doesn't care.
I really like this Necro pick, actually.
I'm surprised we're not seeing more Necro.
Ooh, Drow.
Drow Omni, eh? That's an...
It's not the. I think they're going to be playing Omni Ember. You know, like, Ember is going to be the primary utilizer of the Heavenly Grace, at least in the mid game.
Are we still leaning 4-position Yaps or Wind Ranger after seeing all these heroes? Okay.
Yes, I'm almost certain it's pretty standard. Like, Drow. They might even put Drow mid, honestly, against the Necro, because Ember does not like laning against Necro. I'm not saying they have to do that, but they could.
And the mag lane is always just a free lane. If it is mag. I mean, they could. Viking could run Necro off lane.
Yeah,
and
Necro
put mag mid.
Spearbreaker off lane is pretty solid.
Like, that
you can
actually
even
sounds
do
pretty
Necro
good.
IO. There's a lot of different permutations of these lanes that we could see. I like Viking GG's chances a lot more this game. Drow is super hard for Necro to deal with, but I think in the mid game, before he's like, if he gets Greaves at a decent time before feeding once or twice, they look pretty good. But I think the Drow pick is going to be heavily punishing of the way they want to play on the side of Viking GG. So I'll go with Secret again. I like that last pick. I wasn't sure what they're going to go for, but now that I see it, I'm like, okay, it looks good to me.
You know what? I'm going to go with Viking just because I really like their draft, but I do want to specify that I think if Secret dismantles them the way that they did last game, Viking the drafts could be anything. And it wouldn't really matter. That was a stomp.
Yeah,
I like the Viking draft.
Even beyond that, as we see, the odds have kind of equalized a little bit. Not as one-sided as we saw in Game 1.
Yeah.
But
That's weird that Game 1 changed that.
Yeah. Well, actually, middle of Game 1, it was like 1-3 or something like that. So trying to find the balance right now. Even beyond the fact that I do appreciate you sticking up for Viking, I'm most curious about this Omni Knight. What am I looking for that this hero is going to be able to do that, I don't know, like an Abaddon couldn't be able to do or something like that?
It's the Guardian Angel during RP or Chronosphere. It's just
So
like, you guys
team-fight-oriented
cast your big
stuff.
spells, nobody's going to die during those spells.
that's-
That's the whole idea of the hero.
That's really all that he offers. I don't think his laning is strong enough to pick him as a lane dominator anymore.
They did ban out most of the carries that give him an issue, Anti-Mage, Slark,
Right.
in
That's
lane
true.
specifically. So I think he'll do absolutely fine in lane. And I know Zai is like super good at these wonky heroes that you just don't see very often.
I kind of feel like they just want to try Omni.
No, that's what I'm
I
saying.
seriously
Zai's
think
like,
it
dude,
too.
just give me Omni,
And
bro.
he played Snapfire offlane the other day, so I feel like he just wants to play it.
Zai wants to play it. I want to see it. Let's pass it over to our casters for game number 2.
I also want to see if the best team in Dota 2 can win with the worst hero in Dota 2, at least according to Jenkins. Kyle, do you agree with that assessment?
What is? I thought you were talking about Wind Ranger because Slacks is upstairs as it gets picked. He's like, oh no.
I mean, if anything, he's going to be very torn. He's got Wind Ranger and Omni Knight on the same team. Like, is he cheering for that team to lose or win?
Who knows?
Did you know the Omni Knight has 100% win rate here at Omega League?
How many times have you been picked?
2 times.
Oh, well, there you go.
In the Divine China region.
Okay, yeah, it's not
So-
been picked at all in the West then.
No, that
Wow.
is the only 2 games in the China region in the Divine bracket.
Gotcha.
So, pretty much nobody of note is actually picking this hero, except for Secret.
Yeah. But I mean, they definitely have the luxury of experimentation. They've won, I believe, the last 5 online tournaments with a total record of 15-0 in the finals. So if you can't find a challenge competitively, I guess you've got to start competing against yourself. And yeah, it is going to be Zai on that Omni Knight.
This
The Wind
is
Ranger
like
4.
Virtus Pro and their A to Z challenge.
Yes. That was fun. Till game 5 of that finals, and they're just like, you know what, we'll try. And they won in like 20 minutes. This matchup is pretty tough for Nisha. Toby's just going to push the lane as we're about to witness. And yeah, he jukes out the first Q, so that's a nice help. I will say Secret, in team fights, all they really have to do is not get grouped up. You know, you're playing against a Spirit Breaker, a Void, and a Mag. Just Delta split, ensure that you can't get 2 or 3 man RP'd. And you should be just fine in theory. And wow, that's a lot of damage he's taken already. They know where he is. You can see the Fatal Bond.
Yep. Boom. He's just slowly going to die here.
Like, they have an exact
Taking his
angle.
way deeper and deeper into the trees. Okay, they lost track of him.
See you later, nerds.
Okay, he will actually survive, though. Is it really living, though? Just surviving like this? I mean, he's not going to be able to stay in lane. Puppy's going to be able to solo zone it.
Is Empower level 1 the build, Cap? I haven't played this
As
hero
in
off
off lane, I don't believe so.
I would be very hesitant to do so against 2 ranged heroes.
Yeah.
High harass.
think mid, absolutely.
Yeah. This bottom lane is very tough for the Wisp. Limited armor. If he stays under tower, he should be okay, but he's just going to get smacked in the face by Yapzor.
But yes, that is something we should absolutely point out, is that Toby is going to be playing the mid Necrophos, and Boom is going to be playing in that offlane position. So maybe this is just a little bit of inexperience, perhaps?
Well, it's interesting because the thing about it is most of the time, I think that the value in lane swapping when you put stuff like your mid player going off lane is if the matchup is superior, because you can't predict it, right? If this was Toby playing Mag, they would know it's going off lane.
Yeah.
But I don't think that this surprise factor really helps them in the laning phase, because Mag going top instead of Necro is... It's not a huge lead. It's not like a Bat Rider. It's not going to totally change the matchup. In fact, it's arguably worse for the Mag than the Necro.
Yep. No, it's a matchup that we've seen Drow Ranger picked into a number of times, and it always wins the lane, I think.
Yeah. That's the question as well. It's not seen that often because people just don't play Warlock very much, but I love playing Warlock into Spirit Breaker. It's just this really fat, tanky hero that never buys BKB until late. He's going to charge forward. You're going to Fatal Bond him plus 1 or 2 other heroes. You Fatal Bond 3 heroes, it's like 75% damage increase. And there's always going to be a Wisp nearby as well, right? If you're going to reload in. So it's a really nice pick from Puppy. It also is great follow-up to counteract an RP or a Chronosphere. And they have the GA, as the panel mentioned.
Throwing out a couple more shots. Boom. Again, staying alive. Fortunately, the creep wave's going to push into him and all that jazz, as long as the hard camp doesn't get pulled, and that's what Aramis is currently trying to make sure doesn't happen. Shad, he's 15-0 right now, so he's doing okay in the CS, but Zai is totally free farming in comparison to poor old Boom, who's certainly not doing that. And our mid lane matchup, about even here with the Ember Spirit picking up a few more denies. So Nisha doing very well.
He should be expected to use a more regen, though. I'd imagine that
Yeah.
the second salve.
So probably about even in net worth.
So Midas will be the build on Shad. Again, just fear for Vikings damage output.
Yeah.
It's Void and Necro versus the world. They've got a lot of global mobility. We saw them abuse this yesterday in their win. It's just much more difficult against Secret's lineup because Ember Spirit, very mobile, and oh my god.
Shackle shot into the double nukes. Shad, though, that shackle shot didn't actually last long enough, so he undid both nukes damage, I think. So
Look that way.
it's kind of a waste. I just can't believe in any Void lineup that doesn't have like clear damage to pump in.
Yeah.
Right? Your ranged heroes are Wisp and Necrophos.
Yeah.
And Necrophos obviously like may not even be able to get his Q off.
Yep.
Because it's pretty close range, and single target Reaper Scythe isn't the most valuable thing either. So
Yeah, that's the trouble, is I look at Secret's lineup and I see, okay, all 5 heroes have some kind of nuke. They have some way of using mana, deal damage. Viking, Wisp, Spirit Breaker, not so much. Same with the Mag. It's all about the Void hitting really hard and Necrophos staying alive. But if you're Secret and you can just spend one of your big ultimates to disable or neuter the influence of an enemy core, where's the damage actually going to come from? Shad's got the Midas queued up. We'll see if he goes for that instead of like a Mask Madness or something, but typically they're just going to have to win the lanes. That's the key for Viking here.
pull back on Puppey. He cuts through the trees to be able to sneak back to the tier 1 tower. Living for now. I feel like we're being a bit negative for all Viking GG in this entire series, and mostly because, well, we've had to. That game 1 was a bit of a stomp. What are the upsides to their lineups in this game 2?
Well, if they get ahead and Necro's impossible to take down, you don't really have a recourse for Secret if you fall behind, because you're playing against Spirit Breaker Wisp and Avoid. So they're just going to run around the map, and if they're ahead and they're able to push lanes safely without fearing Secret aggression, then they can just use RP, use Chrono for pickoffs, and then reload and charge as well. Like they'll always be the ones finding kills, and they won't be failing to accelerate because they'll be shoving lanes safely. Nice job, DD for Toby.
Yeah, no issue in getting on top of the Draw Ranger, right? Like, charge onto him, relocate once the charge is close.
Exactly. You can't defend Map2 in this game as Secret if you're behind, because they just run at him.
Especially if you get like the sandwich move, you can only gust 1 combo. Maybe he does it to the IL +1, but it still means the charge is going to come through from the Spirit Breaker.
No, Secret really, Zai loves this off-lane bottle. I don't see many other off-laners picking it up, but it's 2 games in a row now.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I was like, okay, I'll try it out myself, and I just feel like I never get enough use out of it. So I have to imagine that's just one of those things where team synergy-wise, they just give him a lot more opportunities to refill. Good first blood there from Secret.
Yep, he's went for the triple Wraith Band on Map2, so he's very strong in terms of right-click. And
Nisha, nice dodge there with the Slight.
that is the trouble with Spirit Breaker versus Ember.
Yep. And a bit of trouble here for Toby, though the Flame Guard is burned away. Oh, he's got the Reaper Scythe, but Shackle Shot comes through, and wow, that was enough. A nice bait there from Nisha, setting YapzOr up for the kill.
I can't believe he got that kill. And of course, YapzOr, he gets the last hit, as always, and now he'll take a bottle charge as well. That's his tax.
Yep. And he can very easily build into a fast MKB. He did it on the Mirana before. Hey, might as well do it for the Wind Ranger.
It's funny, because Secret, they play such a diverse hero pool, but if you really pay attention, oftentimes their role players end up doing the same job. It's just a different dressing. And in this case, YapzOr probably just asking you, just, give me a ranged hero with a good set. Gotta have the skin upgrades and buy MKB.
Mm-hmm. Same kind of archetypes everywhere. Zai is going to be playing, who's the offlane DK at some point in time, Underlords, Omni Knights, he's going to be that big tanky boy that draws a lot of attention. Yeah. Probably get some teamfight itemization in there.
The big thing for Secret, hang on. No point in silence?
Yeah, and that does mean that Matuma Man, okay, if we can get a shackle somewhere in here, they can't even do enough damage, jeez. Yeah, he's got so much armor, and this is a physical armor combo. He tries to get off a couple of arrows there to finish off one of these two heroes, but in turn, the two strength heroes are the ones that are too tanky to go down.
I don't think he expected Toby to be there all of a sudden.
Yeah, just kind of like wraps behind the tier 1 tower and walks through it.
Yeah. Secret, the one thing they do that's a little different from most other teams is oftentimes Zai ends up on like a 3.5. His farm priority is lower than a lot of other offlaners.
Yep.
And they don't necessarily give that extra space to the cores. Oftentimes it's the two supports of Secret, much like we see here from Puppey. Mid lane this game, previously he was top tier 1 as the Treant, soaking up that XP and gold. And this is the Secret special. 8-9 minutes in, one core that's ahead rotates. He's the space maker. They give their 5 position that level advantage. They should have Golem for their first move. And 4-1 the score. Slight lead for Secret.
Zai doesn't want to be sticking around in this lane against Shads, knowing that he's got Chronosphere up. And the Chronosphere is going to be used here. See if they actually get the kill. Looks like he's probably going to have a chance to get off Purification, but it's still going to be chased down by the Spirit Breaker. Aramis.
No bashes.
Hoping for a high 5. No bashes from anybody right now, but there goes the Shockwave from Boom to take the kill. Meanwhile, though, top lane, they managed to get the kill on Toby.
Yeah. Much of it. I love that from Secret. You know, Zai recognizes he's dead and just dives further into the enemy area of the map. Secret don't even consider helping their boy. Instead, they kill the enemy mid.
Yeah, get a kill that's much more value. Look at that. Puppey protecting the bottle refill for Nisha.
What a bro.
Yeah.
Yap, sorry, I love how Yap's just buying a tome. Already level 6, but you know, it's Yap. And speak of the devil, Zai's net worth being rapidly encroached upon by his 4-position Wind Ranger.
Yeah, yeah.
No surprise there. Level 6 available on Puppey, so why not push this mid tower?
You're going to go for the dive back on a Boom. Boom actually getting the skewer on Nisha into the tier 2 where Aramis is there to connect with the charge, but there's too much heal coming out from Zai. They're going to have a hard time finishing off any of these heroes with Zai around. Like, how can anybody get low enough to get a Reaper Scythe in the first place? And Toby's going to find himself overextended here as the rest of his team is not here to join and protect in defending this tier 1.
And why can't they defend? No Chronosphere on Void. He used it on Zai. Immediately on respawn, he TP's mid, they push a towers 5. You can't counter-initiate as Viking to help your Necro, because there's a Warlock Golem ready to be dropped. There's no chance of you taking this fight. What is Void at this point without a Chrono?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
He's a walk-in Midas at this point, which he almost has complete.
Yeah, that'll be big, but I just fear for Viking right now. They have a tough time making moves. They're going to have 6 on the Wisp. There it is. 6 on Spear Breaker. And you want to get aggressive. The trouble is that both their mid and, really, again, all 3 cores cooldown dependent.
Yep.
So you might be able to find one kill or one fight, but then Secret get this 2-minute window to do whatever they want. And there's always the Golem to counter-initiate as they assemble 3 heroes now towards the bottom lane as Nisha runs through the jungle. Love that high ground ward. Makes it so much simpler for them to play the map. And hey, Zai, again.
Zai just seems to... it's something about his personality, too. That I feel like he can do these sort of plays and always put himself in danger and always draw a lot of attention. But this man will never tilt.
No. I mean, he's played with... hang on one moment.
Easy TP out from Aramis, but it's not going to be so easy for Celery, who's just eventually going to die here. If Boom needs to do something about it, tries to skewer him away from Celery, but Sleight of Fist just does too much damage. Now, they do have the Void coming in. He's got the Chronosphere. He's going to try and go for a surprise pickup. Okay, never mind. He didn't even try for it.
It's the little wins every time from Secret. Zai dies again, but who cares? He gets the RP used, his team takes a tower, and Nisha gets a counter kill. Then forces more rotations. So all of a sudden, Secret have already taken both objectives, so of course they'll be able to defend this one, and they know Viking have to make a play here because 2 TPs were just forced. And they're fine with the fight. There's no RP.
You know, having watched Zai do this in several different patches now and with several different heroes, I know it's not this simple, but I would almost be tempted to always ignore Zai.
Yeah.
because he's so effective at just being able to bait out like really big rotations for a minor kill. Aramis, he does go down. Toby going to be in some trouble as the relocate going out from Celery is actually going to cut the tether and instead use it to bring Toby back to the fountain. Oh no, he's going to have to use the Chronosphere to be able to survive through this, but he didn't grab Nisha in the process. He's able to kind of loop through, time walk away, but Puppey, he could drop the golem if he wants to. Nisha wants him to as he dives in, hits it with the purification, the golem follow-up. Celery comes back in from the relocate. The tether save, is it going to be enough to bail Shad out? He's only got 2 levels of the time walk, so he's got to cut his way through these trees. And there's Matumba Man able to block off his exit with those frosty arrows.
The discipline from Puppey there, just holding the ult, using it as the tether comes in. And just, as long as he's got that in reserve, Viking don't feel comfortable to force a fight. And RP was used on Zai earlier, the Chrono forced defensively, Relocate forced defensively. Viking want to be playing for tempo. They want to be being aggressive with these spells. And because Secret are kind of just leading them around the map by the hand, it's on their terms you're forced to fight, and ultimately Viking don't get the opportunity to play the draft the way that they want to.
And not being able to play this draft, the execution they were hoping for means they are looking like just a bit lost now at this point, as Secret is just going to kind of run back and forth between lanes and find kills here. Still got Ghost Shroud up. Toby can start dodging some damage, but he doesn't get it off before the shackle.
There's just no spells. You don't have Chrono, so Shad isn't a Dota hero. He has a Midas. Like, Secret, even though the net worth was only 1K a few moments ago, it was the map control that was more important. It has nothing to do with the net worth lead. It's how Secret are able to play the map. They've all of a sudden got total control of the Radiant top triangle, and now they can just do as they please. They have vision on the Void right there. Oh no, that was us having vision. Just kidding.
Now, there's no doubt a lot of this comes down to Secret and just the way they're playing, but draft-wise, like one of the later picks was this Necrophos.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there was a hero that could have served Viking GG a little bit better? Because it feels like as soon as they're kind of behind, they just run out of damage. We talked about the damage problems from Game 1 as well.
Hard to say.
Oh, okay, they're going to be able to get on top of Matumba Man here. There is going to be saving grace from Zai. He's got Divine plus a little bit more heals. Aramis is in trouble as Yapzor is going to be able to run down underneath the tier 2. Relocate back out as Silence on top of the shackles. Shad's going to be low. Yapzor misses out on the shot there that would have finished him off, and Shad is able to get away. Boom. Not quite so lucky, though. Toby actually made the skewer back in. The Reaper stops underneath tier 2. Nice combo from Viking GG that allows them to finally bare their teeth and bite back against Secret, who is kind of running them over.
I will say that is the downside, or rather, I guess the upside of Vikings draft. These 3 cores are very tanky. You saw them try to kill Shad, he gets away, and yeah, they were able to take out the Spirit Breaker, but Aramis, in a fight where only I die as Spirit Breaker, I'm happy. He took so many spells, full Yapzor ultimate required to take him out, and Secret ultimately have some limited damage issues if they don't get a full combo off. Map2 wasn't really able to fight with this team. He was too low, and Toby's got this hood up, so he's not really a target for Secret either right now.
I feel like it's going to be a bit of deja vu to Game 1, where we're going to see Viking GG. Like, pretty soon their lineup's going to show, like, oh, we can really win some team fights. And then Secret's just going to hit their like second timing and kind of run things over.
The thing that was unfortunate is that Zai's GA, it saves his Drow, but they weren't able to actually deal damage during it.
Zai gets skewered back in, but that is just a beautiful Golem plus Fatal Bonds combination. They all got to run away, but the damage is going to come in from Nisha. Already takes out the IO, and the Fatal Bonds will make sure that Boom does a fair amount of damage to Aramis as well, who gets sniped out by the Shackles power shot combo.
See a pattern here, Cap? A couple big ultis used from Viking. Secret respawn, immediately find a fight. Viking give it to them. That's the trouble. They want to keep playing aggressive. They've got the Wisp and the Spirit Breaker, but they just can't.
Yeah.
You cannot fight Secret if you don't have all your spells ready.
Now, they did still have their Chronosphere, but he was focused on taking that top tower, and Secret, I think they made just such a nice, clean initiation.
Yeah.
They just played it fast like you were talking about, right?
Yeah, it's tough. Vikings still very much in this game. They've just got to be disciplined. If you don't have spells, you've got to try and get other things done. You want to, if Secret's going to find a fight like that or kill a couple of you, it shouldn't be in front of your tower if possible. I'd like to see them just keep Shad in a side lane and have the rest play around it.
The Gust actually stops his tether away and allows the Shackle shot to pin him to some trees. Toby hoping that the tier 3 can save him from Nisha's assault, and it will. And Boom and Aramis here lying in wait. Secret, they didn't have the vision of him.
Nisha with that Heavenly Grace on him is just so strong. Even if you stun him, so much status resist. I love the Deso pickup too. You've got a Drow. He's going to put that minus armor on everybody. It helps Yapzor's damage output as well. And in a way, it's a subtle help to the Fatal Bonds as well. It spreads damage in the form it's received. So if you make everyone take more physical damage, they're Fatal Bonded. They'll just take more physical damage from the Fatals. And Aditi could mean a Roche is a possibility. I think you let him bottle it here.
They did also take a tier 2 before 20 minutes here. So if they manage to take away that outpost, it would leave Viking GG very experienced starved. So there's certainly 2 different really good options with this double damage, though picked up by Zai.
Nether Shawl. I imagine that goes to the Necro here. But I'd be a little cautious, just because armor is going to become a big problem for the Radiant side. Glimmer on Puppy. Essence Ring for the Necro. Yeah, he'll swap, though. Give the Essence to the Mag.
Yeah, opts for the Ghost Shroud, which will help protect him a bit more when he goes into that ethereal form, and sure enough.
Yep, Deso DD.
DD and a Deso. Make pretty short work of Roshan and Viking GG. They kind of had to play the bottom half of the map, because what if their outpost gets taken away? You know, they just sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And look at the vision control from Secret. Again, this top triangle, the moment they got those towers, they immediately asserted dominance over this area of the map, which then leads to a free Roche. And now that they have Roche, they have an advantage, and hey, here's Void.
Viking GG, they're hoping to be able to do the same, right? They get that evasion also in Secret's triangle. The problem is that they're so easily pushed away by just the slightest provocation from Team Secret.
Yeah, it's still anybody's game. You can check out the big difference, as always. Look at the supports. Total score of 0, 10, and 5 for Viking, whereas Secret's coming in at a strong 6, 1, and 17.
Yeah, that's an impressive score from the Secret duo. And they're going to smoke up, find their initiation. Aramis shows himself, quickly gets off his W, and is able to jump away. Celery still has his tether up, so he's going to also be able to follow Boom back.
Yep.
To the base, so good job. Viking GG are doing a good job of like keeping this net worth. It's not sticking around that 4K. They're not getting caught.
It's the map control though, because Secret make this play, it forces Viking into the base. Yes, Void's farming, but Secret have control of 2 lanes and a ward around the one that they don't. And because this lane is now pushed mid, they can take bottoms here too. Void still isn't really safe to do that, because for all he knows, there's just a Wind Ranger waiting. He's not going to show on map. Yapzor, that is, because he represents so much threat when he's off it.
Yeah. Manta into Diffusal Blade, so give it a couple minutes and our Void will start being able to pump out some real good damage.
This is a lesson I got from Fly way back when I was first coming out. It's very simple. If you're ahead in the game, control 2 waves. Cut them, and play the jungle, sweep the map to the other side when a lane gets in trouble, and ultimately you're at the very least going to get an even fight.
Yeah.
That is what you sound like.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And that's exactly what they do. Mid pushed, bottom pushed, sweep. Force Viking to the other side. Once you know they're in base, go run at them.
They've got some really nice defensive vision. Shad sees all of these heroes coming, but I don't think he got out of the way in time. He's going to turn around, start banging on Denisha before he time walks away. Relocate out, so this will probably cost the IO his life, but...
He's had really nice timing on those. If you notice, like, the reload's out, the tether comes in maybe quarter second before the reload. Very necessary when you're playing against all these quick stuns, like the Shackle, the Golem that could come out from the Warlock as well.
Right. Yeah, despite that, still 4K. There's always somebody from Viking GG hitting one of those side lanes. Right now it's that Necrophos that Secret are rotating to, but in the process there's kind of a support in the way, and that is, or actually that's Shad there in the bottom right, so. You're going to try and keep from doing the same pattern. They're going to try and be a little extra efficient and stay here in the bottom lane, hiding in the trees.
Yep, one wave taken by Nisha bottom, and then boom, join the team, cut across. You know that there's heroes in the area, and they're just trying to economic warfare, rather, waged against Viking here. They're going to know Magus here, and Yapsor, hello.
Pretty big kill. Aramis is actually going to hum in here. TP out, that's not going to be good enough. The multi-shot will bring down Boom, and they do have another shackle shot, so Aramis, that makes it a double kill for Matumba Man. And Nisha, with his solo double damage, was able to really threaten Toby.
Yeah, I will say, Shad had a Midas real early on, top net worth. It's still a big threat. He's going to be empowered. If he can finish that Halberd, I assumed he would go BKB. It's a Halberd.
Oh, look at that. Drops the ward to spot him, farming up the Ancients without showing anybody. But relocate in to make sure that Shad 100% can get out. Viking GG have no problem losing some of these heroes as long as Shad survives. 2 seconds. Jump over. Ooh, that was a close call. Does manage to get away.
That was a Hollywood-level escape.
Yeah.
I was watching the opening scene to The Matrix for a moment. The telephone call came just in time. But relocate used, and now Secret knows, hey, 2 enemy heroes are in base. Let's run towards it.
They're just... It feels like Secret's going faster and faster, but Viking GG are still keeping up.
Secret need to keep playing near flawlessly. Even with a 20-5 kill lead, they're not yet in that commanding position. And again, that whole net worth lead, look at Yapsor. He's the one ahead. No one else is. This is an even game, except the Wind Ranger has an MKB, and the Spirit Breaker has, well, Tranquil's Drums. And a Blink on Yapsor as well. But he is 6-0 and 10. He's earned it, all right?
Can Void like just straight up 1v5 this game? Because that's the way Viking GG is basically playing, is that they're kind of setting him up to get 75% of the farm that's available on the map.
It's definitely possible, especially with Empower and a Wisp.
Okay.
And if they can get to a point where they're ahead, if Viking are ahead, they can just dominate map control. The trouble is they've been on the back foot this whole time, so it's Secret constantly sweeping around. They get a little bit of a lead, and suddenly it's the Drow and the Wind Ranger afraid for their lives if they show on vision, because they might just be charged reload on.
Toby, he's got a Lotus Orb, so he can quickly remove the shackles, but he's going to be caught by the shackle shot. Yapsor.
Yep. It's got to be Shad doing that.
Aramis is going to go for the pickoff here on a puppy, and they should be able to get this rather quickly.
If he'd got that Golem Fatal off, it could have been real spooky.
Aramis, oh, such long-range damage, but fortunately Celery's there.
He's been on point, man. Celery, it's a tough game for his team. What's his kill death right now? 0 and 6. Okay, not as good as I had hoped. But I think the point still stands.
I mean, it definitely could be a lot worse.
It could be worse.
The fact, like, we've only seen Secret manage to pick up, like, what, maybe like 5 kills over the last, like, 6 minutes, and literally all they're doing is hunting nonstop. And that also leads into your point of what you were saying. If Viking GG are ahead, they can dominate map control. I feel like Secret are very aware of the high ground threat that is there. They can't just simply go, hey, we're stronger than them right now, let's go high ground. They lose one fight, and this game could just flip over on its head real quick.
Yeah, the graph's telling the same story where, it is Secret right now making all the plays, but Viking are hanging in there. It is not a repeat of Game 1. Secret don't have that same potential to just utterly dominate a team fight. They need to have ideal spellcasting, and ultimately it's Viking that should be in control of an engagement if they're able to get the critical targets. You want to find Puppy first, maybe Yapsor, and do something to neutralize Zai. Because if you get off a Chrono and then everybody's G8 inside of it, it's just a full reset. And Viking need their big cooldowns a lot more than Secret need theirs.
So Viking GG, they're currently the Dota representation of a kitty cat motivational poster. Hang in there, buddy. 6-21, just trying to draw things out and wait for a mistake from Secret while trying not to bleed too many heroes. And Yapsor, he goes for a kill onto Aramis, but they've immediately relocated onto him. They're going to be able to get this kill. They're going to punish Yapsor for that kind of play. Trying to do it solo too. That is a wicked 6 streak and the extra death timer on him.
That was really funny. I would have liked that move a lot more if they'd been waiting in the wings so they could have saved Aramis, but you'll trade your 4 positions. We just remarked on how gross the net worth disparity was between them. Yeah, level 16 on YapzOr to the 10 of Aramis, so you're fine with that.
They're going to go one more. Puppey. He's got Ghost Scepter and Glimmer Cape. That'll only help you so much here. Puppey, are you willing to drop the Golem here in an attempt to turn around? The rest of his team is here to bail him out, and Puppey's good.
Yeah, I think you got to go for a Nullify. The problem is Void needs so many items in this game. When he gets them all, it's very dangerous for Secret. But I think you'll want a Nullifier at a point. You need an MKB, because the Drow's going to go for a Butterfly.
Yeah. His offense hasn't quite been solved, but his defense is looking really good. You can see he's kind of fiercely jumping at Team Secret now that he's got the Heaven's Halberd plus the Manta. He's feeling good about his options.
You can also purge off the Heavenly Grace, which is going to be real spooky as the game gets late.
Yeah, same goes with Guardian Angel, right?
I'm actually checking that because I didn't know if I could say that confidently.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's any Dispel now. Oh.
Yeah.
Was it GA that's undispellable now then? I think, oh no, the Grace isn't, the GA is.
Has been killed.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay,
You cannot remove Heavenly Grace, you can remove GA. That's what the Nullifier is really for. Because then there isn't really a counterplay for Zai. Even if you were to get an Ags up, you just save Nullifier during Chrono for the Purge.
Okay, well, they had to give up that last Roshan, but this one that is just about to spawn, Viking GG have a very real chance of being able to force a fight.
I love that Halberd. You have a Wisp on your team, you're going to get the HP regen increase. In addition, you can disarm the Drow.
Yeah.
Plus, it forces Map2 to think about an MKB. Yeah, of course, the Wind Ranger already has one, but you're not really too worried about him as the Void. And, well, if you are, then you have more problems than just YapzOr. But it allows you to deal with this Drow a little bit better. This next big fight, they got the charge of the Ideal Hero.
Trying to track down Puppey.
Oh.
Gonna cancel out on the charge, a little bit scared. The Bulldoze, oh jeez, that physical damage so much, and look at that from long range. The initiation comes in, but it's denied. The Gus stops the Void from being able to get in there. He doesn't want to pop his Manta just yet, and fortunately, he'll be able to heal everything up here. But missing Aramis, I think they feel like they're gonna have to just wait and let Secret start banging on Roshan a bit and try and jump in last second, but Nisha's not going to try and give them that opportunity. He's going to be disrupted. He's going to get in Viking GG's face. Jumps away before the RP can land. Shad goes into the Roshan pit to check things out. Roshan at half health. He gets the information he wanted and gets out.
Armis has respawned, though. We've got to remember Sandberg's Spirit Breaker rule. Never stop, never stopping. Really well played by Puppey, though, to get the upheaval and the choke point. You can see Viking just can't collapse through that area. This is a really tough place for them to fight if they don't open on Puppey.
They smoke. Another blind jump in. Roshan is low, but Secret are making sure they don't overly commit. Shad, he may actually try and fourth it. Roshan a bit low. Shad getting bashed up by Roche. At the same time, they found their initiation out of YapzOr. That's a pretty good kill, but he got off the wind run first, so they're going to have to blow everything they can to hope to be able to kill him, and they should bring him down. Staying back inside the Roshan pit. Roche goes outside of the pit. The Chronosphere goes out. He used it to try and force down Roche. Can he still get the Aegis? Oh, they missed the kill, but they get the Aegis. That's the important part. Now Shad has that extra life, but he's going to abandon the rest of his team because he looks at this and says, this is a terrible situation. I've used my Chronosphere. Let's just try and get away with the spoils of war. Sadly, Toby and the rest of the supports are not going to be able to have the same mobility options as our Void.
Oh, but and it also they used all the spells, Cap.
Yeah.
So now Secret, they have Aegis, they have 3 dead, and they can go push. Like, you can't use Chrono for Aegis. It's not an effective trade. Because even with this respawn, you have no Chrono.
Yeah, it feels like they're probably just going to have to give up a lane of barracks.
Yeah, nice buyback from Yap. Wasn't really necessary, but it represents strength now, and they can just push no problem.
Nisha, he's got no goddamn chill right now. He's going to use the Ul Scepter offensively on Shad. He's going to stay away from that Void.
On Drow?
No.
Mana Pot. Deceiving.
A little mana potion. And a lot of long ranges. They have the telescope as well. So this Drone Ranger, and from very far away, boom. It was given the cheese from the Void, but it may not matter. The BKB going off, gets the skewer back, but Nisha and YapzOr Combined together, their damage is just immense. A charge through onto the Drill Ranger. Shad is going to go for it here without the Chronosphere. He's looking for some kills, but look at him. He's just being kited around constantly. Time walking off the damage over and over again. Celery's going to try and bail him out here, see if they can keep that H alive. They will not. But if they can kill Nisha here, it would be massive. Skewer back in. Self-fuel Scepter. He's got a Remnant coming up in a second, but his silence goes out. The Reaper's Scythe, and he's down, dead in the grave, and dead for 2 minutes, too, at that. Team Secret. A rapid retreat now, but a time walk. Forward, dilation, slowing down this Drill Ranger. Shad, if you can keep up on it. Buyback coming in from the Ember Spear. Celery trying to help out this point. He goes to the RP, but it got silenced. The gust goes out. Matumbaman, he takes out the AO, turns the damage onto Boom, and a shackle shot comes in from YapzOr, locking down Shad. He just cannot get his hands on any of these heroes. And finally, as he does, he's got Toby to help him out as well. But Matumbaman, he's looking so tanky now. There's no help, and Shad has given up on this. But all of his friends are dead. Toby's gonna fall, and Shad, he'll make his way back to the base, much like he did before, but at such a cost. It was 1 lane of barracks before, and now it could be 2 as Secret. They've got that glint in their eye, that killer's grace. They can just keep pushing forward now.
It's like trying to play chess against the computer, Cap. You use Chrono, you take Aegis. Secret just don't give a damn. They're using that window to take a full Rax, a fight, and potentially opening them up. Yeah, there's Chrono now, but there's still 2 heroes dead. Like, you gotta just play smarter if you're Viking to win this one. But I mean, Puppey's only used 2 rocks, but on both occasions it was to interrupt the tether right as it came in and then help YapzOr find a kill. Just beautiful. BKB was used by the mag, but it just didn't matter. And Matu with the silence in that one engage, like that could have been sick from Boom. He got a mid-cast animation.
Yeah.
And that's 2 racks. Maybe 3. No buyback on either of these cores.
They've got the Chronosphere. Shad, he's just gonna kind of go for it, but every single time he approaches, it's a shackles, it's a silence. There's always something there to be able to slow him down. Now, Matumbaman's pretty far forward here. Shad, not going to go for the Chronosphere just yet, but they're losing their buildings pretty quickly. He's going to have to just throw it out soon as he's trying to beat on Matumbaman. There goes the building. That's going to be Megas. Finally, he does throw out the Chronosphere, but he's been Yule Scepter mid-chrono. More damage coming in. A shackle shot. That he's Toby's dead, and Shad's just doing nothing at this point. His physical damage just looks pathetic against the power of Team Secret, as they will take another 2-0 against Viking GG. That makes them 8-0 against this team now since their loss to them at ESL 1 Los Angeles.